Hey guys, this is Humble Spirit. Wow, it has been a minute since I have dropped an episode, and I'm actually excited to drop this episode. I don't know how excited everybody else will be, but I'm actually excited, and I feel good, and I'm feeling the vibes today, and I just appreciate anybody that is listening, that has come back to listen, that it's your first time listening to me. I appreciate it. But as the title states, I'm going to be talking about Kobe Bryant, and just like everybody else, right? But basically, I've had some time to reflect on this situation. As more words have been spoken and tributes being poured out, I feel as though it's all telling me something very important. Now, I'm sure people are coming here for me to say the average things, reiterate what I've said about previous people that have passed away or whatever. But this, is a little different. That's not at all what I'm going to do. So, for starters, we must get out of our feelings. I get it. They say somebody, died. But we have to get out of our feelings. If you're in your feelings while listening to this, you might want to turn this off. Because I'm sure the things I'm going to say is not at all what everyone wants to hear. But the truth usually isn't. I'm not of service to man, which means I'm not placed here to tell you what you want to hear. Okay? So if you're in your feelings, you truly loved Kobe or worshipped him or whatever, then you might want to turn this off. Okay? So with all that being said, there has been a lot of different conspiracies floating around, which in turn to me means more confusion. Confusion at its finest, right? Nowadays, the truth isn't as simplistic as it once was back in the day. I would never understand how people don't realize that change is always happening. It's always happening around us. The wicked ones, are always watching. Hence the name Watchers, right? Now, I'm not going to spend time on the number codes and adding all the dates and times, ages, etc. Clearly and obviously, we know that it all will come out to be what it should be. We have to take a deeper look. And like I said, the wicked ones know round about what we're going to be saying. All of us, period. Not just truth providers, but all people. But what everybody is failing to do in this situation is think. We are failing to think. Although thinking seems to be, not our strong suit in life nowadays, that's something that we should do in any situation. And in this particular situation, we're not thinking. We are feeling, and what feeling does is bring your energy to the forefront, which is clearly what they wanted. I mean, think about it, guys. There's like 2 different viruses that's going around right now that's killing a good amount of people. They let that circulate for a couple of days, then boom, they say, oh, Kobe Bryant is dead. And what does everybody do? Forget about the viruses that's killing multiple people. Now we don't care about that. We care about this one guy that played basketball, a game they created, might I add. But this one guy. And only now are we sad about death. Oh no, don't be sad about the real people dying. Be sad about this false idol. They use, certain words on the news or in articles, or whatever, because those are the clues that they're leaving. Just to see if we're paying attention out here. They say, oh, he was the greatest player in history, likening him to some sort of god. They say, oh, he was a giant in the game. He was a giant. And if we read the Bible, it tells us that giants were the demons. People think the Bible doesn't still hold strong to this day, though, right? They say, oh, that was back then. So nobody is thinking, where did the giants go? Where are they now? And why would they call him a giant? Well, they're here with us and just being praised like they sought out and wanted from us. So, we have Kobe Bryant, someone we know nothing about, taking our attention. When there is viruses going on, fires yet to be put out, locusts that are swarming Africa right now, and whatever else is not being said. I think there was just an earthquake. So we have this guy we know nothing about that is taking our attention from the more important things. Okay? Yet we're feeling and giving our energy to someone that had no real effect on the world. They say, oh, he was a hero. How? By throwing a ball in a hoop? That ball that has a magnet in it? Or that ball that's turned on by a remote or whatever? That's how he's a hero? And the thing that gets me about it all, they're not talking about who he was as an actual person. The only thing that they are stating is about his career, his accomplishments, what he accomplished while here. Which I can tell you is going to mean nothing. Absolutely nothing once you're not here. Okay? So, like I said, we're feeling and we're giving our energy to someone that had no real effect on the world when there are real serious things that are going down. Okay? But the thing about it, they said, oh, his daughter died with him. Just to tug at your heart a little more. To squeeze out all the energy that they could. Okay? And yes, they did it before the Grammys, per usual, right? But this time, I'm not focused on the obvious. Like I said, we must think. How did they already have everything set up to do this tribute for him? As if it was pre-planned, maybe? Something that stood out to me about the Grammys, I don't know if you guys watched it, nor did I, if you didn't. But, I don't partake in those type of things. But, clips that were coming out, and once I heard they or seen the picture of like Kobe Bryant and Nipsey Hussle, I decided to watch the clips, and something that stood out to me was the fact that Alicia Keys, she said, oh, blah blah blah, he's in our heart, spirit, etc. Then she goes on to say that him and his daughter is in the building. Well, how can that be? And yeah, I get it. People will say, no, she didn't mean it like that. Says who? The wicked ones don't play games or joke, guys. We're the only ones thinking everything is a joke or switching it to accommodate ourselves. Oh no, that's not what she meant. Because your spirit and your soul feels more at ease to think that that's not what she meant. Okay? It is what it is, guys. And it is what it's going to be. I've learned over time, there are no coincidences. When it comes to things like this, there's no coincidences. And, I'm sorry to say, Kobe was nothing more than a demon in a meat suit, acting as usual. Just like all the other ones. Come on. His nickname was Goat and Mamba. Mamba was his real, nickname, Black Mamba, but, they called him the Goat. Both the devil. So he probably was in that building, sitting amongst all the other actors. Okay? There's so many illusions out here, guys. There's so much out here to mess with your mind. And the sad thing is, we allow it. Now, I know people will say there was a tweet that said he was going to die in a helicopter crash. Oh, there was a cartoon that depicted him dying in a helicopter crash. Yeah, to throw us off. And I'm pretty sure it surfaced once he died, like hours after he died. Or they reported that he died. Okay? It wasn't predictive programming. It was just programming, period. And a distraction. This whole thing was a huge distraction. Okay? Once again, the wicked ones know what to put out there and know what to use to bait us all. And they did a fantastic job, might I add. Okay? They definitely did a doozy with this one. They had everything planned out so strategic. Sometimes it's hard to see through the smoke and mirrors. But like I said, he was just another actor. And sometimes when you're an actor, your character gets killed off, right? Your character gets killed off. I hope you guys are following me here. Okay? Is that what happened to Kobe? It's kind of funny to me how we're being so controlled in every aspect. But people only see it sometimes. More than likely when it's something they don't like happening. And they'll be like, oh, I'm not conforming to that. But you're conforming to every other thing in your life. So now they say, love your family, love your friends, and everyone around you. And people are saying that's exactly what they're going to do now. When the Most High told us that from the start. Yet we've been hating and killing one another. Oh, but when Kobe dies, love each other. Why is it that we can give all this energy to man, or the wicked ones, period, instead of our Creator, instead of the Most High? People will rarely post anything about God, but will be so ready to give their energy to all else. Okay? They knew this would really hit home for people, especially black people, and especially black males. Okay? So they built up this character named Kobe Bryant just for this moment. Okay? Just for this moment. Okay, we got to get out of our feelings, guys. Like I said before, if you're in your feelings, you might not want to listen to this. Because that's something that we can't do. Because when you're in your feelings, it then blocks your mind. And you're no longer able to think clearly. Okay? We got to get out of our feelings. We got to see the truth within the lies. Why aren't people questioning anything? Why are we just believing everything that's being told to us? Open your eyes, get your minds out of the cage, and think and see what's being truly shown to you. Now, what's the topic of conversation nowadays? Kobe Bryant and his death. Nothing of substance. Nothing that will lift your vibrations and your energy. Give you energy. Only the strong, sad energy. When you're happy, your energy is calm. When you're upset, your energy moves very quickly and is very strong. And that's exactly what they wanted. Okay? Please, guys, please give all your energy to the Most High. It is never void. And never put anything past the wicked ones out here. Just because you see whatever, happening, and it looks just like another situation that went down, don't always dub it as the same. Always, always look deeper. Okay? If you're a person whose mind is free, keep it that way. Keep it that way. Don't let them limit and cage your mind to thinking just one way of truth. just one way of thinking. Okay? Like, honestly, this is why I take breaks when it comes to doing my podcast. Because I like to keep my mind fresh, not in a constant cycle of how I'm seeing things at that current moment in my life. You know, I like to allow the space for the Most High and the Holy Spirit to truly speak to me. Because without that, all you're left with is a bunch of assumptions. And like I said, there's a bunch of conspiracies and there's a bunch of, theories out here about his death. But like I said, it's only causing confusion, guys. That's it. Okay? And I mean, I don't want anybody to think that I am, one-sided about this. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows exactly what happened. But I will say, do not, mourn a false idol. Why are we mourning this one guy when there's people that are dying from viruses and man-made viruses at that? Okay? Man-made viruses that they are putting out here to kill us. Depopulation. Okay? There's locusts. There's biblical plagues happening. There's birth pangs happening. But we're not worried about that, right? We're crying and we're mourning and we're, giving all our energy to this one guy that did absolutely nothing for us, absolutely nothing for the world, or nothing of the sort. Okay? We have to, elevate ourselves. And we have to see the truth within the lies. Okay? But like I said, nobody knows. But all we can do is look at what's being put in front of us. And instead of being so quick to be sad or quick to whatever, act, we need to think. Okay? Whenever I was hearing about this and hearing more and more people talking about this, it was kind of crazy to me because the more I was hearing people talk, they were like, this feels so unreal. Like, this doesn't feel real. It's all I keep hearing. Well, maybe it's not. Okay? Sometimes everything isn't, what it seems. Maybe, just maybe, it's not real. I heard Shaq talking about when he found out about the news, and, he said something to the nature of, at first he got mad and, told his nephew or son or whoever to get that phone out of his face, and because there's so many, hoax and, things that can happen in Photoshop and blah, 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 But the thing that caught me was, there's, we live in a time where there could be a hoax. I mean, why would he say that? Those actors know, man. They know better than us. And another thing I want to point out, any news outlets or things that they've been putting together for Kobe, they don't seem too sad. Pay attention to how they are talking about him. They're like, this is such a terrible, terrible thing, and we're just devastated, and we're just, grief-stricken by this death of Kobe Bryant. And then they keep trying to reiterate the death of Kobe Bryant. They're trying to shove it down your throat that, he's really dead, guys. Is he? Or is the character dead? But my point being, they don't seem too sad. I think this one guy, excuse me, I forgot his name. I want to say like Jerry West or something. I can't even remember his name now. But, I was watching the ABC like little special they had on Kobe Bryant. And, he tried to make himself cry that whole time he was talking. And then finally, towards the end of his little segment, he finally like dropped one tear, if there was even one tear. He wiped once and was talking for like 10 minutes. Like, really. So, come on, guys. How is the public more... Yeah, I was about to say the sheeple, but I'm not going to go there. But, how is the public more saddened by Kobe Bryant than the people that actually knew him? The people that was actually around him? The people that they said they helped him in his career? Or interviewed him? Or known him? Or was friends with him? And now, yeah, of course, they put out, they had to have like a Dwayne Wade and, whoever crying about it and, putting on the whole show. But, come on. And as well, if you guys are listening, like I said, they say key things. I think somebody said, after he was done with basketball, he was ready for a second act. What do you mean a second act? He was ready for a transition in his life. He was ready for, there's so many other words. But instead, they carefully placed in that word, he was ready for his next act. I'm guessing this is his third act. I'm just saying, guys. We have to think before we feel, And from my knowledge, I don't even think we're supposed to be mourning the dead. Okay? So, like I said, this was definitely a huge distraction when things are amping up. And, like I said, like there's so much more that is like going on. But they don't want you to focus on that. Okay? They want you to focus on that Kobe Bryant has died. But like I said, they got to do some more convincing because I'm not into it. Okay? Let's focus on the important things in this life. Not just what they're forcing us to focus on. Okay? But, I didn't want to carry on too long. So, I'm going to end this here, and I hope this message was clear to you. And I hope it opened your mind and your eyes a little bit. Or just helped you to think about another scenario. Okay? As I always say, please get a connection with the Most High. And if you already have one, please continue to strengthen that connection every day. It doesn't stop. Strengthen it every day. Okay? And if you feel I've missed anything in this episode, please leave me a comment, message, or whatever. Just letting me know what you've come across because I'd love to hear it. I would love to, see how everybody else feels about it or how everybody else is thinking, what they've caught, that I might have missed. But thank you to the Most High for allowing me to do this and putting this on my heart today. And thank you to everyone that took the time to listen. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Even if you don't agree, I appreciate you and I love you. But please also take a sec out of your day to visit humblyspirited.com as well. And I love you all, as I said before, so very much. And please always protect yourselves, guys. Please protect yourselves. Okay? And I pray the Most High be with us all. This is Humble Spirit. And may we all be not deceived.